Hello, Scorpio. So today we're here to give you your next 4 days forecast. So the 28th, starting from today, 29, 30, and 31. Okay. So let's see what go on for today. '28th for Scorpio. All right. So yeah, because the cards just kept dropping. You, Scorpio, need to put yourself first today. So the card to come out is reevaluate your priorities. Okay. At the bottom of the deck, we have be true to yourself. Next, we have be of service to yourself. We got make a plan and become a clear channel. So you need to get the people around you to cater to your needs as well. If you're the type of person to always be putting yourself out there, giving to others, it's time for you to start getting back for yourself. Because if you keep giving, it's energy is like a bank account, okay? If you keep giving out your money, and you're not receiving anything back, you're gonna go dry, you're gonna go empty. If you keep giving out your love and you're not receiving any love back, after a while it gets tiring and then you become unmotivated in giving anymore. You'll get to the point where whatever you have in your reserves, you will keep for yourself. So you will naturally get to that point if you're not at that point right now. But today is calling for you to give yourself that love and also get that love from the people around you as well. Today, Scorpio needs to be looked after. Scorpio needs to be invested into. Okay, that's what's happening, because the card that was at the bottom, it was what? Love yourself. Yeah, and the way how the cards were shuffling as well was telling me that something is just not right. So what it is you're dropping the ball when it comes to yourself. You're looking after everybody else and you're not being looked after. And after a while, it's you're gonna explode. You're gonna explode like a volcano, okay? So you need to become a clear channel and tell your people what you need right now. If you need a break, you need to make it clear to the people around you that you need a break. Okay, if you want to be looked after, then try and see if someone is willing to, I don't know, make you dinner or something. Okay, but you need some TLC today. So let's see what's happening for tomorrow. And if nobody's willing to look after you, If you got kids, you can send them someplace so that you can have the day to yourself. I think it will do you some good. Don't be afraid to ask for time off if you need time off, especially if you have a support system. Stop trying to do everything by yourself. Things that other people can handle on their own, you need to give them their responsibilities. So let's see what's happening on the 29th. Especially mothers with young children. What I find mothers with young children do is they take on all the responsibilities of these young beings. Okay, these children can do things. If you teach them to do things, they'll be able to do things in less than no time. It may not be perfect, but they'll get into the habit of taking responsibility for themselves, like cleaning up after themselves after they've eaten. You see, picking up their toys, teach them to put on their socks and their shoes themselves and things like that. Just because they're two don't mean that they can't learn how to do things, because when they're two, we're putting the phones in their hands. How they know to handle the phone when they're two but they can't put on their socks? It's because they haven't been taught. Okay? If they're watching a video on the thing and it comes off, you show them how to put it back on, they'll get it in a short while. So if you teach them anything else, they'll get that too. So what you put into them is exactly what you're going to get back out. So if you don't train them to be independent, then they'll always be dependent on you. So you've actually done yourself a disservice, and you've done them a disservice as well. Because where they're supposed to be more advanced, their learning is delayed because you didn't take the time to teach them. So that's just an example of one of the things that people overburden themselves with. Just because the child is two doesn't mean that they can't start to practice things that they need to do to become self-reliant. The sooner you can make your child become self-reliant, the easier life will become for you. Because we didn't have children to be looking after them all the days of their life. If you have a child, it's another helping hand, okay? But it will only be a helping hand if you train that child to be a helping hand. For example, so the 29th. See? Victimhood. Rejuvenation. Yeah, you need rejuvenation. You need to be, you need some TLC. You need some TLC. If you have to send the children away so that you can get some time to give yourself some TLC, then do that. If nobody's willing to give you that TLC, you give it to yourself. Okay? So victimhood, rejuvenation. We got dreams, blossoming, vulnerability, truthfulness, divine love, Mother Nature. You see, if nobody's giving it to you, give it to yourself. Don't wait for nobody to give it to you, because I see a lot of conflict here. These things are conflicting. So it's like victimhood, then rejuvenation. Those are two contradictions, okay? Then we got dreams, blossoming, and right after that we have vulnerability. So there's another emotional turmoil coming in again. Then we got truthfulness, divine love, Mother Nature. And then right after that we have exhaustion. So it's like you're tired. Right after that we have insecurity. So what you need to do, insecurity about celebration. So it's like you're unsure about the future. Okay, you're unsure. And what you need to do is find a way to bring your life back into balance. Okay, so that's the plan that you need to be taking your time to make. How do you get back to balance? All right, let's see what's happening on the 30th. And look at the cards that God brought out for the 30th, the self-care cards. We can't always depend on people to make us happy, and we shouldn't, because love is something that's freely given. And there's always the option of us loving ourselves, okay? So if nobody's giving you what you think you deserve from them, then you need to invest less into them, and that energy that you would have been putting into them should be directed at yourself. That's how that works, okay? It's not like, say, you're giving to receive, but the reality is, if you keep giving and you're not receiving, you're gonna go empty. So if you find that people around you aren't giving to you, give to yourself and stop giving to them. Let them give to their self, just like you have to give to yourself. You'll teach them a valuable lesson, I promise you. It's like you're being taken for granted. It's like people have become complacent around you, where they expect you to handle certain things, and you don't get no thanks, you don't get no reciprocation of assistance or love. That is draining, okay? And it's gonna bring out the worst in you eventually. Don't let it get to that point. Ask for what you need. If you need time off, get time off. If you want someone to cook for you, ask them to cook for you. If you want help with anything, don't be afraid to ask. It's either yes or no. And if they say no, then handle it yourself. But also take away yourself, so that you can give to yourself. Because if you have all these people around you and you're taking on all their responsibilities, it's too much for you. But if you take yourself away, then you don't have to deal with their thing. Let them deal with their thing themselves. So we have clean up a room. In this case, my dear, this room could be the room that you go in for your solitude away from everybody. Or it could be your mind itself. Okay? Because you're not seeing things clearly. You're not being fair to yourself. That's the biggest problem right now. You're not being fair to yourself. Even if everybody else isn't being fair to you, that part is irrelevant. Be fair to yourself. You have the power to do that. People are not going to like when they ask you to do something or expect you to do something and it's not done. But you have needs too. Exercise that. Let that be known in a nice way, but let it be known unapologetically. You have needs too. Look at the bottom of the deck. Help someone who is in need. Who is that someone that's in need right now? I'll leave that up to you. So, on the 30th, clean up a room. If you have to clean up a room and make some space where when you go in there, nobody disturb you. That's the rule of that room. When I go in here, it's because I need some time for myself. And if they want to give you some kind of pushback, start listing off the things that you do. List them off. And then when you're finished, walk away and go to your room nicely. Say, excuse me. Nice and calm like that. Because if we allow people to use us, most people, they'll just continue to use us. So you now have to draw it to their attention that there is not a balance here. Things are very imbalanced right now. This is the 31st now. Let's see what's happening on the 31st. So on the 31st, we have a love spell. At the bottom of the deck, we have misguided. Next, we have positive karma. We have I was hired. We have physical harm. We have beautician. We have double agent. We have negative karma. And we have repaid. Right after that, we have child or children. And we got inheritance. Then we have emotional agitation. So, on the 31st, there's a love spell. A love spell being done. A love spell being undone, possibly. But at the bottom of the deck, we have misguided, positive karma. So it's like someone thought that this love spell was actually positive karma when it was not. So someone misjudged the situation. So it's like the love spell that's being done is actually a negative thing, okay? So it's like a judge presiding over a case or a jury and they're coming back with the wrong verdict. All right. Then we got I was hired. Then we have physical harm. So there's some real bullshit going on here. And double agent. So a double agent is someone that's playing for both sides. And it has something to do with child or children and inheritance. Somebody's emotionally agitated about it. Has something to do with a beautician. So I don't know who the beautician is here. I expect you to know. So let's see. From the top, we got... So somebody's doing a love spell because they thought it was positive karma, but it's actually not. Okay? And then we have someone was hired to physically harm someone. Physically harm a beautician. But this person is a double agent. And the negative karma is actually repaid. So that brought some balance in. So whoever this double agent is... Oh my God, that's funny. So whoever this double agent is, they've basically balanced back out whatever the bullshit is that's going on there. Okay? And we got the inheritance issue coming in with the child or children there, and someone's very agitated about this issue. So there's telepathic communication. Okay? It's about parenting. So now these parents are probably, they're studying. And right after that, we have drugs. I don't know why. And then we have prenuptial agreement. And we have marriage. So it's like someone's thinking about, I guess if someone marries someone else to have this prenuptial agreement, but what What the hell do drugs have to do with anything? Okay, so the drugs is coming in as obsession. So studying obsessively. Okay, so drugs is not representing drugs. Drugs is actually representing obsession, addiction. Okay, so they're addicted to getting this prenuptial agreement in this marriage. Okay, so yeah, on the 31st, there's some kind of a love spell going on there, and someone thinks that it's justice, but it's actually not justice. However, the double agent that was hired, they've actually balanced everything back out. Okay, so all's well that ends well, and somebody is quite agitated about children and inheritance and marriage and prenuptial agreement and all sorts. So I expect that you know what all that is about. Okay, so that's your next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, please take some time for yourself. All right, unapologetically do you. Okay, yeah, that's the most important message for me personally, going to you in this here. You need to balance yourself so that you'll be open, you'll be collected, and you'll be ready to give to others. Because if you feel drained, you will not want to give to anybody, not even your own children. So before you get to that state, try and bring your own emotions back into balance, your own health, your own peace of mind back into balance. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.